Oh, good afternoon. How are we all doing? The biggest stream of the year on this channel. It is the Game Week 1 deadline stream. And I've managed to get the chat. It's not anything, really nice or anything like that. Also, I don't know if the music's playing. Is the music playing? Maybe get it like that. Maybe a bit better. Yeah, I managed to get the chat. It's not like any nice graphic or anything. I didn't really know how else it was going to be done. So there we are. It's just straight off of YouTube. First of all, before we get started, I wanted to say a big thank you to Joe, who has become a member, Joe Cook. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. You should have some nice emojis to use. I don't actually know. Can I use them? I think I can. I can. There we go. Pop one of them in the chat. But thank you very much. But yeah, basically today we're just going to be answering. Oh, I just realised I've done this as well. Hold on. You're going to have to excuse me. I'm obviously new to this. Oh dear. There we go. Right, there'll be no more typing in the chat. There we go. We'll leave it like that. So how is everyone? We have already got 102 people in here. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And yeah, so I'm not going to be able to scroll up in the chat. So I do apologise. So if you do have a question and it doesn't get answered for a little bit, just ask again. Because if I scroll up, obviously that takes the entire chat below me up with it. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. Now, what I've also realised is my live stream hasn't actually started. So I'm going to have to refresh. There we go. Boom. Sorted. And we're good to go. So this is my team now. If anyone watched the team selection video from yesterday, I've made two changes. And that is taking out Virginia, the Sporting 4 million goalkeeper for Tribune. The reason being that it looks as though Rui Silva could potentially be fit for Thursday. Still up in the air on whether that is actually going to happen or not. Yeah, so I don't want to risk that. It just doesn't really make too much sense when there's plenty of other good goalkeepers available and I've got lots of money in the bank with this team. So Tribune's in the now. That could potentially get changed, but he is who I have went for. And the other one I brought in was Quenda because I wanted the triple Sporting, and Quenda is very, very likely to be playing at right wing. Only 5 million listed as a defender, and I will talk a little bit more on Kairat as we get into the stream, but I very much think the clean sheet is locked in for Sporting, and Quenza is going to be very, very capable of picking up some attacking returns in that match as well, playing as the right winger. So that's the only changes that I've made to this team. Again, like I said, basically going to be answering any questions, and if you've got anything that you want to ask about my team, feel free. It's just going to be on screen anyways. And yeah, so I'm happy just to jump straight into things. So I'm seeing a few things about Goncalves. Now, for me, I think with Trincao and Goncalves, I think it's just a 50-50. I'm not fully against, going for Goncalves. I did speak to a Sporting fan on Twitter, and he did say that they both will start, but Goncalves is more likely to be subbed early. Trincão's like the fittest guy in the team and is more likely to play 90 minutes. So that's why I went for Trincão. It does kind of feel like anything could happen with those guys, though. I think Goncalves is more likely to score like a hat-trick, but subbed early. Trincão, I'd rather bet on the minutes guy. Haaland, again is another player that I'm very, very, tempted by. Mbappe and Suarez are locked in for me. It's just that third striker spot is either going to be Kane, Pavlidis or Haaland, and I'm not 100% sure on that. If we're talking 100% locked players, I think I'm here, to be honest. I think the other three players, I think that's kind of where I'm up in the air. I think everyone else is going to be locked. Obviously, I need Calafiori to start for Arsenal, and if he does, then he'll 100% be in the team. But I think I'm pretty locked in there. Potentially, if I go for Trubin, maybe I'll move off. No, I don't think I will move Otamendi. I think Otamendi stays. So I think I'm going to be locked in with that, and then it's just really three players there that could potentially go elsewhere, but I can go anywhere because I've got 4.5 million in the bank. Any news on Rodney? I've been looking all day and I haven't seen anything, which is unfortunate because I really want to have him. And I don't know who he would come in for, mind you, but I would be very tempted to get him in if there is any late news on him, because he's another one that should probably start and play winger, the same as Quenda. So hopefully we will take a look at Twitter and stuff, and hopefully something does come up. Hello from Morocco. I would read your name, but I've got no idea what that says, but hi. Do you think Dal, Mangas and Araujo will start? I think Dal and Mangas will definitely start. Araujo is a little bit more up in the air. I saw one predicted lineup from Benfica today, and it did have Araujo playing as the right back, but potentially Orsnes moving in there. So, that is kind of where I'm at with that. Thoughts on Barella, or is Çalhanoğlu clear? I would, to be honest, I haven't looked too much into Inter Milan. I think I would pick Çalhanoğlu though. Barella's a weird one. I think sometimes he does okay, and then other times he's just a blank. But I would pick Çalhanoğlu for the set pieces. What about a PSV player, Joey Veerman? I think if I was to pick any PSV player, I would probably go for Perisic. I've seen a few people talk about Perisic, and I wanted to look more into PSV in the stream today because it's a nice fixture against Union SG. I'm not really sure exactly how that's said. Yeah, I'm gonna look a bit more into Perisic in the stream today. Kuka, thank you, mate. Good to see you as well. Why Calafiori and not Gabriel? Why Guler and not Vinicius Jr.? Also, why do you think for Perisic between him and Elise, Ken and Yilda? Right, so Calafiori over Gabriel because Calafiori has more of an attacking threat. Guler over Vinny because Guler's in better form and Vinicius Jr. was not in one of the predicted lineups that I've seen today. Between Perisic, Elise and Yildiz, I would go Perisic, then Elise, then Yildiz. Will the locked in team be posted on X? I will try my best. I will try to remember. Perisic or Barcola? Definitely Barcola. If you've got a question and the player's in my team, go for the player in my team. That would be the one I prefer. How likely is Quenda to start? Very, very likely, Anurag. He had basically the right winger, I think it's Katamo, got injured for Sporting, and in the last game, Quenda was the one that played at right wing, so I would imagine he's the guy that just takes that spot until he's back. Do I think De Vrij is a good pick? I would rather pick either Bastoni or Akanji with that, because what I've seen is De Vrij is potentially going to come in over for Acerbi, but I don't think that's 100%. You can't fully lock in on that. And from what I've seen, Acerbi's been one of Inter's best defenders, so it's really just his fitness. Obviously, he's 37 now. So if he is deemed fit, then he'll play over De Vrij. So I would just go for the safe pick and go for Bastoni. I think is the safest. If you're not going to go for Dumfries or DeMarco, this is Bastoni for the centre backs, or go for Akanji as my number 2. Othman, good to know, mate. Thank you. I'll use that. Also, I've just realised the chat has moved a little bit, so let me fix that. There we go. I'm going to quickly close my window as well. What do you think about having 4 attackers playing on Thursday, triple Sporting and Rafinha? It's basically what I've got. The only difference is that I've used a defender as my other attacker, so I don't really have any problems with that. Channel Oglu or Barcola? Barcola. He's the one in my team. Sudakov is way better than Chiquinho. The only thing with Sudakov is I don't know if he's 100% going to start. I don't think he's had a start for Benfica yet. Obviously, he's just signed. But I probably would agree. I think if we did get confirmation Sudakov was going to start. From the predicted lineup I did see today, Sudakov was given a 60% chance of starting. For me, that's not good enough to put him in the team. So I've got Chiquinho in there. But if we did get confirmation, I would be probably putting Sudakov in. Perisic or Simmons? I would go for Perisic. I don't think the Villarreal fixture for Spurs is as good as it's made out to be. Bergvall is a cheap midfielder. I don't really know on the price. If I'm being honest, Bergvall probably isn't going to do fantastic, for points this season. I think there's plenty of other cheap options you can go for. He's 5 million. I think that there's loads of good cheap available options that you can get that's just going to get more points than Bergvall. Olise or Barcola? Barcola. 4 million goalkeeper for 4 game weeks. I'm using the wild card in Matchday 2. So, yeah, that's, hold on. I'm using the wildcard in Matchday 2. So Paschalakis is the backup goalkeeper for Olympiacos, and yeah, so he's just gonna be my Matchday 1 guy. I've got Haaland, Mbappe, Suarez, Salah, Rafinha, Simmons, Çalhanoğlu, Goncalves, Calafiori, Quenda, Grimaldo, Huijsen, Dumfries, Trubin, Paschalakis. That looks like a good team to me. Do I like Grimaldo? See, I don't mind Grimaldo, but he would probably maybe be like my 7th or 8th defensive pick. So for me, I just think, there's 5. Like for me, he does look like a decent pick, and I'm a little bit worried about him. But there's just players I prefer instead. But he does look good. I'm gonna take a look at him in FUTMob as well and see how good he does, or how good he's been. Napstars, thank you very much. 5 gifted memberships. Memberships? Yeah, that's the right word. I don't know why that didn't sound right. Thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate that. We now have 5 new members to the channel thanks to Napstars, so make sure to say thank you. And you guys all have new emojis to use as well. I do have I think the memberships usually I've got it down as I think what you get is you get priority message in the chat, priority comment replies, and then you get the emojis in the chat, but you also get access to early videos. So if I'm making the video the night before, then I'll just post that for members only, and then you can get that a day early usually. But thank you very much, Napstars. I'm locked in bar 3 players, so what I will do is I'll take these 3 out for now, and I think I'm pretty much locked in on the rest of those guys. Huijsen for Dumfries, no. Close, obviously Real Madrid has better clean sheet odds. But but I think Dumfries, the attacking potential's really good for him. I do prefer him over Huijsen. Merit or Milinkovic-Savic? Gadros, I think for that one, I would just totally avoid the Napoli goalkeepers, because yes, they both look great, and I think it's maybe one for whenever you wildcard, once we have a better view of who it's going to be, but right now it just seems like a 50-50 between those two, and they've got Man City in the first game anyway, so I can't see a clean sheet, so I would just wait with both Milinkovic-Savic and Merit, because right now if I had to pick one, I probably would pick Milinkovic-Savic, but again, it's like I've got no idea. It could really be any of them. On Napstars is Tiggy. Thank you very much, mate. Let's see, what else have we got? El Kabi or Pavlidis? Now, I actually forgot to mention El Kabi. He is someone else that I would potentially be considering for up front. So that leaves me with 4 options. So I probably would pick Pavlidis because he's got the Champions League experience, but they both look like great options. Haaland or Kane? Right now I'm on Kane, but again, it's very tough to try and pick one. Trincao or Goncalves? Trincao, he's the one in the team. Make sure to look at the team, my team first as well, before you ask any questions, because you know, if it's like a 50-50 between 2 players and one of them's in my team, I'm probably going to be preferring the one that's in my team. W Napstar. It's Calafiori starting. We will find out, Alex. Yeah, we'll find out if he is in the lineup, because that game's at 5:45. Any Spurs player you recommend? If I was going to pick any Spurs player, I would pick Pedro Porro. But again, there's a long list of defenders that I prefer ahead of him. But Porro would be the one I'd go for, if anyone. Jack, we have a similar team and strategy, but think I'm preferring Pavlidis and Goncalves over Suarez and Güler. Mint team though. Pavlidis, I feel like Suarez is the one that I definitely want in the team. But I do understand, like, there's so many good strikers. But I get that Goncalves as well, kind of covering off the attackers. Switch Chiquinho for Elise. See, I could do that, to be honest. I could really switch Chiquinho for anyone. I think I could get... No, I can't. I can just miss out on Salah. I'm tempted, you know, maybe just go for quality players rather than fixtures. But obviously fixtures is what you want to target, especially in a free hit match day 1. Pedri, Vitinha or Barcola? I would pick Barcola, then Vitinha, then Pedri. Do you think that Olympiacos will play with 2 strikers, Taremi and El Kabi, or just one? From what I've seen, it will be El Kabi, but Taremi is like kind of on the horizon as a potential starter. Olympiacos fans seem to be heavily reliant on El Kabi though, and really expect him to be the starter. So as far as I know, El Kabi's the starter with Taremi on the bench. Thoughts on Salah? I just don't want... I've got him in FPL, and at 10.5 million, he's barely, like, he's been okay. Maybe I'll get him on a wild card in matchday 2 if his form improves, but it's a very difficult game against Atletico Madrid. He's not in the best of form, so I'm not going to spend 10.5 million on him. Is Fresneda a doubt? I think Fresneda will play. I think obviously Kenda's the other right back, and he'll play at right wing. The only thing I've seen about Fresneda when I was kind of looking at the cheap players in Sporting is that he gets subbed off quite early a lot. So if you want, you know, if you want a defender from Sporting, then pick Kenda or Quenda. If you want another one, I'd go for the left back. I think it's Menges. If you're looking for someone who's nailed, you know, Inacio and De Bast both get, you know, good ball recoveries. So Fresneda would probably be the last one I picked. If not, you're swapping Calafiori to Gabriel. Yes, if Calafiori is on the bench for tonight, I'll put Gabriel in instead. No Bayern. Oh, I missed that one. Thoughts on Koundé? I wouldn't get him against Newcastle. I think Newcastle definitely score. Pacho or Mendes? Already have Hakimi. Is Virginia the Sporting goalkeeper? I'm on wild card 2. Pacho's a weird... I don't know if I would pick Pacho or Mendes, to be honest. Hakimi obviously locked in, but the rest of the defence seems a little bit up in the air right now. With Virginia, it looks as though Rui Silva could potentially be back in time for Thursday. So I wouldn't pick Virginia. I wouldn't pick any of the Sporting... I wouldn't pick any of the Sporting goalkeepers. Thoughts on my forwards? Kane, Mbappe and David. I like Kane and Mbappe. David I think is a little bit rogue. You know, it's a good differential. I don't think many people are going to own him. I just think there's a lot more strikers you can get that are going to do better than David this week. I'll say that and then he'll get a hat-trick. Salah's a good record against Atleti. Interesting. I'm going to be honest, it's probably still not going to make me pick him, but I will be hiding behind the couch when he does play. What do you think of a Matchday 2 Limitless? If you consider that, will you change your team? I'm not going to go for it. I'm very much locked in on the Wildcard 2 and Limitless later on. I've seen quite a few people choose a... Limitless in 2, and it seems like an okay option. It's not my favourite. I think the Limitless is going to be better used later on, but a lot of other people seem to like it. Why not Vinicius instead of Güler? Vinicius wasn't in one of the predicted lineups and his form's been shocking recently. Güler is going to start and he's been doing well. Ordonez is the new Pacho, locked in my team from day one. Oh, who is Ordonez? I don't know who Ordonez is. Bruges. One goal. Can I check his ball recoveries? Or did they play for Panathinaikos? Is he just signed? Or am I making that up? No, he played for Bruges. Champions League. Oh no, I never played. Don't know. Interesting. I'll take your word for it. Hoyson and Salah or Dumfries and Halise? I would pick Dumfries and Halise. Is Gyökeres a good option? Yes, but I think there's better players you can pick. What about Timber? I mean, he's kind of the same as Calafiori, isn't he? Yeah, I mean, probably just as good an option. If I'm being honest, there's no reason why I've picked Calafiori over Timber. So, yeah, it's really whatever you prefer. If you're not wildcarding in 2, then Calafiori's probably the better pick because he's cheaper. But yeah, I suppose they're both good options if they both start. Who am I picking for the starting 11? The starting 11 is just everyone who doesn't play on Thursday. So obviously you arrange it by dates. So I've got 3 players. My Sporting players will play on the 18th. Everyone else in here is going to play on the 17th or the 16th, bar Rafinha. Are you worried at all about not having a Benfica attacker when they're predicted 2.6 goals? Yes, I very much am. You know, I'm tempted to maybe move Chiquinho onto Sudakov, potentially Kane onto Pavlidis. There is a lot of options. If I'm being honest, the reason I've got Kane in here is because he's my Wednesday captain. You know, I could potentially go for Hakimi. That would be my backup captaincy. But yeah, that's why I've got Kane in there for now, but I could potentially move that to Pavlidis before the deadline. Are you not interested in PSV and Slavia Prague players? Slavia Prague, not so much. Sure, Slavia Prague playing this. So they're playing Bodo Glimt. I wouldn't be surprised if Bodo Glimt won that game. I think Slavia Prague are the favourites, but Bodo Glimt are no pushovers, especially, you know, I think that's one of the games that you would, if you're a Bodo Glimt fan, hope to take points from. PSV, however, there is a couple of players from PSV I'm interested in, mainly Perisic. Someone has just mentioned in the chat as well to take a look at... Oh, sorry, I just ran my mic through the, my mouse through the chat. Someone had a look at... Who was it? Pepe, I think it was. Oh, there we go. Shane, check out Pepe, striker from PSV, done decent this season. And they play USG at home. Do you know what I'm going to do, right? So, before I take a look at the chat again, I'm going to take a look at some PSV players because I am interested. So Pepe's scored 2 goals so far. Destis is a good start to the season. So is this shouting guy. Veerman's had a good start. I've seen a few people mention him, and then obviously Perisic with 4 assists and a goal. Now I want to go on to Twitter as well and see Tom Hadley, because he did a lovely little graphic on set piece takers. There we go. Don't know if you'll be able to see all of that, but we've got PSV here. So Perisic will be the penalty taker, with Veerman and Perisic on the corners and Veerman on the free kicks. So Perisic and Veerman are looking like the 2 that I would probably be looking at out of all these guys. Probably more so Perisic because he's got the penalties. Minutes wise, 90. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. 90 minutes against Nijmegen. 90 minutes against there, 86, 90. So he's getting the minutes in as well. Got a goal and 2 assists. Nothing against 20, got an assist. So he's had a very good start to the season, to be fair. And yeah, I would actually be very tempted to pick him over Chiquinho. So Chiquinho scored a goal in both. Is that... No, they're friendlies. Okay, so forget the friendlies. He's got a goal and an assist. And an assist. Do you know what? I actually might make that move, to be honest. I did see someone in the comments of the team selection video, though, mention how instead of Chiquinho and Kane to go for Elise and El Kabi, if I did want an Olympiacos forward. I did some looking up on Olympiacos, and a lot of the fans, at least the conversation that I read, seem to think that it's not going to be as easy as a fixture as they think. I don't know if that's because Paphos are better than they thought, or if because Olympiacos aren't doing as well as they thought. But from what I'm seeing, 3 goals, 3 wins, 3 clean sheets in the opening 3 games, which really makes me want to go for Rodney in defence, because I would expect a clean sheet in that for him, which is unfortunate. Got Pashalakis obviously as the cover, but yeah, Alcabi and Elise was the potential, but I don't know if I want. I feel like Alcabi, he could do well, but I don't know. He's one of those punts that you just go for and he ends up doing fantastically, isn't he? Like, you look at the end of Matchday 1 and you just see all the players that done so well, and it's a load of players you've never really heard of. He seems like that kind of guy. I don't know. Views on Red Sauce defender for Olympiacos. Let's have a look. So started 3 games, got 1 goal. I mean, if Rodney's out, then I guess from what I'm seeing, he does seem to be a popular pick. Well, at least I've seen a few people talk about him. He's got a goal, obviously. I don't know about this Ortega guy. He's got a goal and an assist. I'm gonna have to pull up Sofa Score. because I want to see what ball recoveries. It's annoying that the UEFA ball recoveries aren't tracked. So this season, 6 ball recoveries per game. Yeah, I mean, seems like a pretty good option. Don't hate it. Rodney starting. I wish I knew. Unfortunately, I don't. I've not seen anything so far on Olympiacos, which is unfortunate. I will take another look though, see if we can find anything. UCL. Nah, see, there's really nothing at all. I think I do have an Olympiacos account in this list, but it's not really posted anything. Oh, the Arsenal lineup's out. Raya, Timber, Mosquera, Gabriel, Calafiori, Zubimendi, Rice, Marino, Madueke, Eze and Gyökeres. So there's your Arsenal lineup. Hold on, I can go on the UCL website, that'll be a bit better. I know it's on here, why am I doing that? Right, there we go. Matches. Why have I made this more difficult for myself? Don't know. For some reason this doesn't want to show me the lineups. Back on the tour. So Saliba's made the bench. Nwaneri is on the bench. I mean, no real surprises there. It means that I'm definitely going to be going for Calafiori. Thoughts on Rodrigo instead of Güler? I don't know if Rodrigo's going to start, so I would just play safe and go Güler. Eze and Dal or Otamendi and Chiquinho. I'm currently on Otamendi and Chiquinho, so I'm gonna go Otamendi and Chiquinho. Give me 1 second as well. I'm gonna have to move this out of the way because I don't know if I'm gonna have to re-log in. No, I'm not. Lovely. We're back. So yeah, Calafiori will be in my team then. That's fine. Timber's okay. Timber is in the starting 11. Mastantuano is going to start. I think he's in all the predicted lineups, to be fair. Best 4 million defender. Wildcard matchday 5. That's a good question. Let's find out. Also, Araujo's only 4 million for Benfica, but Benfica's fixtures are not very nice. Someone did mention Ordonez. I think it was Napstars that mentioned Ordonez. Although, again, not great fixtures for Bruges. Anton, I suppose, yeah, you're probably maybe better going for a Dortmund defender. At least you know they're going to play, and they have Bilbao and Copenhagen. So yeah, I guess maybe Anton or Kuto, who's the right wing back. Him here, Jan Kuto. Outside of that, I'm not sure there's many I would go with. Any selected that I'm missing? Nah, I would go for either Anton or Kuto, either ball recoveries or attack and returns. That's what I would go for. Napstars with Retsos. I looked at him just a little second ago. He looks like a decent pick. The only time I would take him though is if Rodney isn't going to be playing. Obviously, it doesn't look as though we're going to know that. So if you want to play it safe, I would go for Retsos. I think Pashalakis is the best cover for the Olympiacos defence. But yeah, and the comment just above you from LD7, based on Olympiacos fans, they don't expect Rodney to start. So that's what I've got so far. I think he looks okay if you want to go for a defender. Kane or Haaland? Kane. He's the one on my team. No Pavlidis. I'm tempted. Spotted Rodney in training. I have seen, like, it's very mixed reports with Rodney. Like, he seems to be, I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say here. A few people seem to expect, like, I've seen, ignore everything I just said in the last 5 seconds. A couple of people said that he just got rested because he had some muscle fatigue. A couple other people said he had muscle fatigue and that counted as an injury. So I don't know. It's very 50-50. Spotted Rodney in training on the Instagram story. I'd be very tempted to pick him. Thoughts on Porro and Thuram? Porro seems okay. For me, he's low down the list of defenders to choose. Thuram, I think there's lots of better strikers you can pick than Thuram. I love that you call him Rodney. I don't know how else to say it. Is it Rodney? No, because that's just Rodney. Rodney. Is he Greek? Rodney. So, physical discomfort on the 12th of September, expected to return in a few days. I want to know if he's Greek. Oh, he's Brazilian? I have no idea how you would say that then. Carnesci and Bastoni or Martinez and Grimaldo. I would pick Martinez and Grimaldo, but you need to have in the back of your mind that Sommer could potentially start. It looks very likely Martinez is going to start, but if you're maybe not wildcarding in 2 and you need Martinez to play over a while, it's maybe a bit more riskier. But I would definitely pick Grimaldo over Bastoni. I have KDB for my random romantic pick. Fair. I wouldn't be, he's going back to Man City. I quite like that. Brazilian, so Rodinei. Really? Rodinei. Don't know. I've now had two people say totally different pronunciations. Grimaldo over Dumfries, wildcard 2. I prefer Dumfries at the minute, I'll be honest. Attacker advice instead of Thuram for around 8 million. I would go Suarez if you don't have him. If you do have him, I think Pavlidis is 7. Pavlidis is 7, yeah. So I would pick Suarez first, then I would pick Pavlidis. PSV to win. I actually didn't even look at the PSV lineups. Are they out yet? Why are the lineups not on this? That's so annoying. An hour to go. We're almost at 1,500 people as well in the mini league. If you haven't joined, the code is just here, and the Link for the auto join is in the description. See if we can hit 1,500. I also need to join a club league. Now, the one that I'm leaning towards right now is the Leverkusen League, because someone sent me it and I'm very tempted, because I think there's only like 150 people in it. At least that was last night. Is anyone in a club league and there isn't that many people in it? Because I'm interested in joining a small one, because I don't have a club in it this year. Trincao or Goncalves, and why? I think it's a 50-50. I think I said this at the start of the stream. I think it's a 50-50, but from what I know, Goncalves is more likely to be subbed early. So that's why I'm going for Trincao. Trincao or Güler? Trincao. Pedro, hey, new sub here. Consider Dal instead of Otamendi. Most of the attacks of Benfica come from the left side, with Dal running on the outside of Shedderlip, while on the right side defends more. Good to know. Thank you. I think Dal's in the corners as well, I want to say. I'm going to be honest, I think I will still pick Otamendi. I appreciate that. But I'm purely going off the Club World Cup here, when Benfica played against Auckland and I picked a wing back from Benfica and they ended up doing really badly, and Otamendi done class. So I know Otamendi is going to be capable of picking up defensive or ball recoveries. I'm going to get so confused with that, by the way, defensive contributions and ball recoveries. And I think he might get an assist or something as well. I'm going to stick Otamendi, because that's just what I feel like in my head is the better move. But from what you're saying, I totally get that and it makes more sense. Thoughts on Arsenal clean sheet? They're given a 41% chance. It looks pretty decent, and they're one of the best defenders in the world. Defenses. Guys, we're on 276 viewers right now, and we've only got 18 likes, so make sure to like the stream if you haven't done it already. It would be much appreciated. The chat is absolutely flying as well today, so thank you all and everyone who's come in with questions. Is Rice a good choice? He's a little bit more expensive this year at 7. I don't know, I'm kind of like, I've not really thought about Arsenal attackers, if I'm being honest. He was the highest scoring Arsenal player last year, so I don't see anything wrong with it. He's probably the best midfielder available. Maybe Eze instead. But yeah, I don't mind it. It's a safe pick. What do you think of having 2 defenders from Sporting? Right now, I'm going to move on to this, so I want to say your name's Chan Onder. Sorry if I've butchered that. Now, so obviously what Sporting are given a 65% chance of a clean sheet this week. I really don't. I'll be very surprised if Kairat score a goal in the Champions League this year, because they're really not a good side. You know, they score. So looking through their qualifiers, right? Obviously they played against, I don't know what team this is, KUPS, and lost 2-0. Then beat them 3-0 in the match after that. Then they played Slovan Bratislava and won 1-0, which was with a penalty. So that was a 0-0 game, of which they actually kind of dominated, to be fair, but didn't score. So a 0-0 game which was won by a penalty. Oh no, I've lost it. And then fixtures. And then in the second game they lost 1-0, so again didn't score and then won on penalties. Then they played against Celtic. Now if you don't know already, Celtic's my team, and it was the worst game I've ever watched in my entire life, and Celtic were absolutely horrendous, but Kairat were even worse. You know, no surprise there that it was, you know, a big upset, but Kairat were absolutely horrendous in that game. 8 shots, 0 on target. The shots were from, totally random areas most of the time, and that was for the home fixture. So away from home to Sporting this week, I think it's just going to be a bombardment of shots. So like that's one game, and then if we go on the away leg, was the exact same, was 0-0. A horrible game to watch again. And again, 12 shots, 4 on target. So many shots from random areas that just went right over the bar. So if I'm being totally honest, I think the Sporting clean sheet is way more locked in than a 65%. And I will be so surprised if Kairat manage to score in the fixtures they've got in the Champions League this year. I think obviously their best chance is going to be Paphos at home, but Sporting, I think it's the easiest clean sheet you ever see. Real Madrid, we're looking at cricket scores for both of those games. Inter the same. I think even here Copenhagen could do them in. The same with Olympiacos. Arsenal, we're looking at a cricket score. So I'll be very surprised, and I think any game that Kairat are playing in, you very much easily could pick a triple defence, and you're going to be very safe with it. Nice that you keep Otamendi. Maybe he'll score a header. Really big Benfica supporter here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm trying to think, Pedro, if there's anything I want to know about Benfica. Oh, I had a few people talking about Araujo. Do you think Araujo starts tonight? Is it tonight? It's not tonight they're playing, is it? It is tonight. Oh wow. Yeah. Do you think Araujo plays at right back tonight? That's my one question. Did you consider Timber instead of Calafiore? Cala usually gets subbed, while Timber usually plays 90. That's a fair question. I'm going to have a look now, just to compare both their minutes. And I do kind of, do you know what, first I want to look at their... first I want to look at their heat maps. Okay, so it's not really showing me. Oh, there we go. Season heat map. So Calafiore's kind of just a little bit outside. I feel like Timber's more of the centre back. Like he kind of hangs back a little bit more. Yeah, but then he's also more in the box. Again, it's one of those ones where they both could do fantastically, isn't it? How's the minutes been then? I feel like it'd be better using this one. Timber 90, 90, 64, 19. Calafiore. The good thing with Calafiore though is he can lock the clean sheet in earlier. 72, 64, 90 and 68. Yeah, that's a fair point. And who's on the bench? Skelly. There's not really a bench player available either for Timber. Maybe I will go Timber. Who has he been subbed off for? 64th minute for Mosquera. But Mosquera's going to be playing centre back. Do you know what? You're actually very much convincing me to go for Timber here. And he came on for White. Do we agree? Are we happy with that? Do we think Timber is a better pick than Calafiore? Quite have a look at the PSV lineup as well while I'm here. I think that's the right one. Is it? I guess it is. Perisic, Pepe, Veerman, Dest. Interesting. Well, you've got me. You've definitely got me interested in Timber now. So I pick Timber. And I think I might just go for Perisic. Like that, maybe? If Ben White is on the bench, Timber might get an early sub. Yeah, so Ben White's not on the bench, which is ideal. I think that was right, wasn't it? I need to have a look again. Yeah, so no Ben White on the bench. Do you know, I think I'm actually going to go for Timber. Now you've said it, I'm going to go for Timber. And I think I'm going to pick Perisic as well, so we'll go for that. Now I think the only... This is where I'm at now, I think. The only two. And I think I kind of want to go for Kane against Chelsea, though. As he's not going to score a hat-trick against Chelsea. Whereas Pavlidis against Karabag, that's like a hat-trick worthy game. Am I going to really have 11 million? Oh no, it's going to be, what, 6.5? Timber's in mine. Yeah, Sparta, I think I'm just going to go for Timber, to be honest. I quite like that. Is that SofaScore? Yeah, that was SofaScore I was looking at for the heat maps and stuff. The other one was FUTMob. Why is saving 3 mil? I'm not meaning to. It's just the players that I think are the best for this game week, and I just happen to have loads of money left over. Why is no one talking about Bellanova? He's 4 million in starts, plays for a decent defence with good fixtures apart from the first one. I think that's kind of what, like, I'm obviously big on the Matchday 2 wildcards, so I'm only looking at Matchday 1, so I haven't really talked about Bellanova a lot. Calafiori will definitely get subbed early. Good to know. I think we will go for Timber then. Glad you considered Timber. And to answer your question, a 90% chance that Thomas Araujo plays tonight because of Dedic's injury. But if he starts, we'll probably get subbed off at 60. So there's one for anyone looking at Araujo for Benfica tonight. That's why I was saying Dal, because the right wing of Benfica will be so defensive with Orsnes and Araujo. Thank you again, Pedro. I'm sure a lot of people in the chat appreciate that. Can see both Timber and Calafiori being subbed before 60. See if they do, as long as they've got a clean sheet intact, that's fine with me. Perisic is playing wing back apparently. Ah, don't cause more headaches. This one has him playing at right wing. Right wing. Right wing. I think we're okay. I think we are okay. Oh look, it's me. Aye, I think we're okay with Perisic. He'll put Mosquera as the right back and Saliba as the centre back. Do you think Mosquera has more of a chance of playing 90 minutes than Timber does? Quenda or Inacio, 100% Quenda is going to be the best defender for Sporting this week, I think. Why Dumfries over Mendes? There's a couple of, like I've seen some weird things about PSG, like having potentially, Mendes as a centre-back this week. So, I am not 100% on him right now. Don't know if I can find anything right now. Nah, so way back to September 14th. I still want to hear, I want to see more on Rodney. Or Rojny. Trained today, so he's going to play. Not sure if he's going to start though. Gelson Martin is out, so pure wingers at the moment are Podence, Strefeza and Nevmonidis. You can pick Rodney, just saying there's some risk. I'm aware that Castilla is the first team right back. We only needed Rodney for the wings and corner duty for match day 1 against Paphos. Sad to hear he won't be fit in time. So he's probably, unfortunately, just going to have to be, you know, a miss, which is unfortunate. Who's on pens for PSG? Vitinha. Yeah, thank you, Torpedo. And to add some info for the Portuguese teams, for me, Goncalves and Trincao, it's a 50-50, and you should 100% pick Kenda because he will start, not as a defensive, but as a right winger. Perfect. Pedro's providing all the info today. Mbappe and Çalhanoğlu or Vinny and Thuram. I would go for Mbappe and Çalhanoğlu. Last day games always scare me because you're stuck with the points. Who's playing on the last day? City are playing on the last day. Sporting. Sporting, I think you're safe with really anyone. Obviously, Grimaldo's playing on the last day. Retsos now locked. Fair. I totally understand that. I think Rodney does look a little bit of a risk, unfortunately. As a Portuguese fan, change Perisic and Suarez for Goncalves and Pavlidis. Pavlidis is the only way to Benfica attack, and Pedro Goncalves is the Sporting player more likely to haul. Let me check Goncalves in minutes. No, do you know what? I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to stick on Trincao. I've made my 50-50 decision. And I don't want to change that now because if Trincao does haul, I'm going to be fuming. But no. No, it's annoying me. 88, 89, 90, 73 and 84. See, it gets the minutes. But I'm pretty sure Trincao, from what I've heard, is just a 90-minute guy. 89, 90, 90, 90, 90. Yeah, I feel like I can't not go with Trincao. Minutes wise, he just seems like the better pick. El Cabi or Suarez? I would go for Suarez, Mohamed. Real predicted lineup. It is Courtois, Trent, Hodgson. Can't remember the other centre back. Casares is the left back. The midfield was Tchouameni. Do you know what? I'm just going to find it for you. This will take way too long. There we go. So that's what I've seen. I better just do that. So yeah, Mastantuano looks like he's going to start. Mbappe's going to start up top. Guler. The only one that seemed like a little bit of a dodgy one was Vinicius or Rodrigo. Any news about Sudakov? Oh, yeah, that's another one, actually. Pedro, apologies to come back again. Do you think Sudakov will start? Nope. Any thoughts on Haaland instead of Kane? The only reason I've got Kane is because I want to captain a sporting player. That's why I don't have Haaland in this team. But, you know, he can obviously do fantastically in that game. Can you compare Veerman, Sabari and Perisic? I probably wouldn't include Sabari in that. Perisic and Veerman, at the end of the day, like, it looks as though like Veerman's done a little bit better, but Perisic has the penalties. So if I had to rank them myself, Sabari's one of the only ones that hasn't returned for PSG this season. If I had to pick one, I'd pick Perisic because he's got the penalties and is more further forward. Then I would pick Veerman for corners and free kicks. Sabari would be the last one I'd go for. Best goalkeeper, 4.5 million. It's going to either be Garcia from Barcelona or Chevalier from PSG. Going to go for Trincao, 3 goals and 1 assist from last 5. Yep, I think that's kind of what I'm thinking as well. The thing is, so if I do go for Pavlidis over Harry Kane, it's still going to be Mbappe's captain, and it means tomorrow the only captaincy options I've got are really Hakimi and Barcola. And Kane's just a better captaincy pick there. Who plays tomorrow? Olympiacos, so El Kaabi could be a captaincy choice. I've only got one Olympiacos player. Who are Olympiacos playing again? Opponent, Paphos. 51% chance of a clean sheet. 2.05 projected goals. See, I'm looking at the projected goals now. Obviously Sporting right up there, but so are Benfica. But so are Bayern at the end of the day as well. Options for goalkeepers. Why is Pashalakis a good option? He's only a good option for matchday 1 because the number 1 for Olympiacos is suspended, and as you can see in the far right side of the screen, Olympiacos have great clean sheet odds, so that's just where I'm at with that one. It's a 50-50 for Sudakov. Benfica will play either Ivanovic with Pavlidis side to side or Sudakov behind Pavlidis. Wouldn't risk it for this game. Thank you, Pedro. I was tempted by Sudakov, I'm not going to lie, but if it's a bit of a risk, then I'm not going to touch him. Why not Gabriel or Calafiori and picked Timber? Recoveries. Calafiori and Timber are just a little bit more attacking than Gabriel, so it was between them two for me, and I did have Calafiori until we just checked it there. Timber, you know, it looks as though his minutes are going to be a little bit better than Calafiori's, so if say Calafiori has Lewis Skelly behind him, with Ben White injured and not in the squad, I think there's more likely that Timber plays the majority of the match. Mbappe and Çalhanoğlu or Vinny and Thuram? I'd go Mbappe and Çalhanoğlu. Sudakov will start. He's the most expensive transfer in Benfica's history, and Benfica managers facing a lot of pressure from the fans, so he will give them this joy. I wouldn't count on that. Matchday 1, no need to gamble on starters, just play safer. Pavlidis only 16% owned, not sure if I'm going to captain Mbappe, tempted to go rogue. That is a risky play for the first day of matchday 1, but I like it. What do you think about João Pedro for a cheap striker with good fixtures? I quite like João Pedro. Obviously, he's done great in the Premier League so far, and if you're not looking to wildcard for a while, he's probably a good long-term pick. Pavlidis or Alcabi for game week 1 only. I would pick Pavlidis. Very close. Like, ideally, I would have both of them. See if I could play like 2 midfielders and 6 strikers, I so would, which is unfortunate. Why Perisic over Chiquinho? I don't know. I feel like it's one of those ones that they both could do well. I don't know. It's a tough one. I to be honest, I'm still not fully locked in Perisic. It would be my choice for PSV tonight. I just feel like I'm going to be honest. I really don't know much about Chiquinho, other than the fact he scored a goal and 2 assists this season. Thoughts on keeping wildcard till after the league phase? I wouldn't do it. I think it's going to be so difficult to try and navigate through the 8 match days without a wildcard. I think it's just so obvious to just play both chips in the league phase. Why Barcola instead of Kvara? Because we don't know if Kvara is going to be fit. Basically, he obviously picked up an injury, and he might not make it for match day 1. USG far better than Paphos. See, that's what I'm thinking. And I'm obviously looking at projected goals now, and I'm not seeing PSV on there. I want to know how good Karabag are. Can I check I want to check the Europa League from last year. Are you telling me Karabag finished rock bottom of the Europa League and they made the Champions League this year? Now I'm leaning more towards Pavlidis because that's crazy. 20 goals conceded in 8 games. What were their scores? So in the first game, Spurs beat Karabag 3-0. In the second game, Malmo won 2-1. In the third game, Ajax won 3-0. Karabag beat Bodo Glimt 2-1. Wow. 4-1 against Lyon. Where are they? 1-0 against Elfsborg. (3-2) against FCSB. And 3-0 against Olympiacos. I guess Alcabi scored. Alcabi scored 2 in that match. I'm leaning towards the... And they're 7th in the league right now. I want Pavlidis now. Oh. I'm going Dal over Etamendi, chasing that attacking upside. Fair. Eze or Madueke? I would go for Eze. Nuno Mendes or Timber? I would go Timber because I don't know where Mendes is going to play. Best 4 million defender, really like Anton. Might not get many clean sheets, but with the harder fixtures I think we'll get a lot of ball recovery. Yeah, I think Anton or Kuto, if you want to go for the attacking aspect to the Dortmund defence. Pavlidis captain tonight. Why not have both Trincao, Goncalves and Pavlidis? So we're meaning something like this instead. Wait, what is going on? Oh, it's sorted by points, that's why. So something like that. Çalhanoğlu, Eze or Elise? I'll go Elise. I just feel like that Suarez guy could... I don't know. Did I maybe go without Kane? Use the search function, I know. I did think that. I think that's better. For a 1 week punt, would you go Barcola versus Atalanta or Chiquinho against Paphos? If you really want to punt, then Chiquinho, because I think Barcola's, you know, he's 12% owned. It's not much of a punt, but I think Barcola is going to be the safer pick. Alcabi's getting 3 goals tomorrow. Kane out, just captain Hakimi. I know. I'm the more that goes on, the more I'm thinking is maybe the best idea. I just feel like this is going to be the better option for the matchday 1 punt. You know, a lot of people are going to have Kane in their team. And at the end of the day, I'm trying to make most of matchday 1. I do think Kane will score against Chelsea, but I feel like Pavlidis could score 3. Do you know what? I think I might go for this. I think I quite like that. I've still, at the end of the day, I've still got 3 penalty takers up front, 3 home games, and then maybe I just go for Elise, and that way I'm still covering the Bayern attack. Go for that potentially. Yes, Tom is here. Team no Suarez. Oh wait, oh no. I've got Suarez. I've just put him in. Tom, how was the stream? How did it go? Sudikov will be in the Benfica starting 11. It's a must. I think I'm gonna try and play it as safe as possible. Like, I want a good team for matchday 1, but it will be absolutely catastrophic if my matchday 1 doesn't go well. because my whole chip strategy is very much focused on a good matchday one. So I'm just going to play it safe as possible. Locked on Pavlidis captain. Fair. Now you've ended up in the same team as me. I like this team. I'm going to be honest. Elise's been in amazing form, so good choice. I have him and Kane. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, like Elise and Rafinha were the two guys that, you know, were fantastic last year, and I'm still covering off, even if they don't have the best fixture on paper. Hi Bobby, would you prioritise ball recoveries, Anton Romero, or attack potential form, Couto and Porro? I would go for attack potential, especially in the league stage. I think when it gets to the later stages, that's when you prioritise ball recoveries, but for the league stages where the fixtures are a lot easier, I would go for the attacking potential because you can get some massive hauls. Why no Pedro Goncalves? It's really just because, like, I do want him. If I could have four, you know, if I could have four sporting players, I would have. But I just think Suarez is just gonna be better playing up front and with penalties. You have a very similar team to me. Do you know, I'm actually seeing quite a lot of people now mention that we've got very similar teams, so I think that's a good thing. I do not play fan team though. No, I did for one season and I didn't like it, to be honest. It wasn't really for me. Çalhanoğlu instead of Rafinha versus Newcastle. I just feel like, yes, Newcastle is obviously great, but Rafinha's owned by 52% of people. If Rafinha even scores a goal, I'm going to get absolutely torched in rank. So I'll be happy to just stick with Rafinha. Just quick reset of the chat. Hey Bobby, best 4.5 million defender, not from Inter or Spurs. Calafiori. Oh no, for game week 1. Yeah, no, still Calafiori. For game week 1 to 4, I'll pick Calafiori. Although, to rely on him starting in 4 game weeks is a bit of an ask, actually. Maybe I'll change that. Who's the most? We'll go by selected. Hodgson looks like a good pick. That might just have to still be Calafiori. Yeah. It would either be Calafiori or Hodgson. Without Musiala, Elise is so crucial to Bayern. I say that as I watch them every week. Good. I like that. Raphael with a $99, 99 cent, that's what I'm looking for. 99-cent donation. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. A lovely little super chat. What a legend. I think that's my first super chat. I've had a few. Napstars has donated quite a few memberships, which I'm very, very appreciative of. But I think that might be the first. Oh, another $1.99 from Raphael as well. Pavlidis for captain. What do you think? I like it. I'm gonna be honest. I think Mbappe is by far the best captaincy. The odds back it and stuff like that. But Pavlidis looks, from what we've just kind of had a look at. Obviously, just had a look at Karabag. They look horrendous. So I really don't mind the Pavlidis captaincy at all. But thank you once again, Raphael. I think that's a decent little choice. Very similar team, but I have KDB. Oh yeah, that's your what was it you called it? Pretty pick? Was that? Am I making that up? Views on Trent. I think he'll get subbed at some point for Carvajal, so I probably wouldn't go there. Guler or Vinicius Jr. Yeah, Guler, because I don't think Vinicius Junior is going to start. Well, I think I personally think he will, but this predicted lineup right here has him as a potential player that might not start. What part of Scotland are you from, and do you have favourite teams? Been to it loads, from Glasgow to Edinburgh and Skye to St Andrews. I'm from Glasgow, and it's Celtic for me, so it's a touchy subject when going over Champions League fantasy. Does Quenda start? Hasn't started consistently. He does. He's obviously got 1 start out of 5 so far this season, but Katamo, the right winger for Sporting, is injured, so Quenda's going to have that right wing spot 100% until he's back. So a great punt for matchday 1. Further than that, it's going to get a little bit more risky. Might consider Haaland instead of Pavlidis. I'm definitely considering Haaland, but I'm going to be honest, now that I'm with this front 3, I feel very, very comfortable with this front 3. John is in the chat. What a legend. Comments on all the videos. That is what you call a good lad. I have 11 million left over. Is that bad? I mean, I've got 5. I think, I mean, unless you plan on keeping the team for a few weeks, I mean, I think the best matchday 1 team is just going to have, you know, a lot of money left over in the bank. We've got over 400 people watching now, so thank you all so much. I think this is the biggest stream we've ever done. Make sure to leave a like as well if you haven't done already. We're now only 20 minutes away from the deadline. I'm trying to get through as many questions as I possibly can. Would I go Trent over Hodgson? I wouldn't soil creep. I think I'd just pick Hodgson. I think he's the safer pick. He's going to get more minutes. And I honestly don't think Trent has had the best possible start to Real. No goals, no assists, 2 starts, 4 matches. So he's came off the bench quite a lot. And when he has started, it's 68 and 72 minutes. So I think Carvajal's right there waiting to come on. So I would just pick Hodgson. Sparta, we don't talk about that here. To be fair, Irish BVB, I do like the kit as well. I feel like whenever, you know, you got to customise your kits back in the day in like FIFAs and stuff, I would always pick like an orange and black. Something in black anyway, that you wouldn't really see all that often. Rafinha versus Newcastle or Salah versus Atletico? I go for Rafinha. I would avoid Vinicius Junior if possible. Eze or Madueke? I think I would go for Eze on matchday 1. Probably going forward to Barcola or Vitinha. Barcola. Remember guys, look at the team first before asking about 50-50. Because if I've got them in my team, that's going to be the choice. Great stream, good luck to all. Join the mini league. Thank you, Napstars. And yes, if you haven't joined the mini league yet, I need to see how many people we're on. We have got 1,615 people in the mini league, which is absolutely crazy to be fair, because comparing it to some big creators, we've got an absolutely massive amount of people. We're only at 16 minutes to the deadline as well. See if you can see your name on the league list. I'm going to be top by the end of tonight, by the way. I'm feeling it. Actually, no, I'm not. I don't think I've got that many players playing tonight. 16th, 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 16th. I don't know, do you know what? I've actually got a fair amount of players. Double Benfica defence, clean sheet. Arsenal clean sheet. Güler hat-trick. Pavlidis and Mbappe hat-tricks. Feeling good. Akanji or Acerbi, who's going to start? I would definitely go for Akanji because Acerbi has been rumoured by good sources that it could be rested because it's a quick turnaround from the Juventus game. Barcola or Perisic just for game week 1. Barcola. Mosquera is a good pick for game week 1. If a wildcard game week 2. I'd only pick Mosquera if you need the budget. I think it is a 4 million. Only if you really need the budget. I think the other ones are going to just be better choices. Chiquinho, punt worth taking. I think it is going to be a good punt. He was very close to being in my team. He's just missed out to Elise for me. I've got Kane, Mbappe, Guirassy as strikers. What do you think? I think there is better strikers than Guirassy for matchday 1, but I said that last year, you know, and every time I didn't have Guirassy, he would score 2 or 3 goals, so I can't really talk on Guirassy. Kane and Mbappe, I think, fantastic picks. What do I think of Eze? I mean, we've not really seen him in an Arsenal kit yet, but we shall see. I think, you know, the Champions League is the kind of, you know, Arsenal. I feel like Arsenal are always kind of dark horses in the Champions League. I feel like for UCL Fantasy, I've never really owned any other attackers outside of Saka. But I think he could be decent. I need to give it a couple weeks to properly have an opinion on it. Does Olympiacos have any attacking defenders? Rodney, I'm just going to keep calling him Rodney. Rodney is the guy that you want for an attacking Olympiacos defender. But the only problem is he might be injured, so it's a tough one. He's a bit of a risky choice. If he plays, he'll start at right wing most likely, and a really, really good pick, but you don't know if it's going to happen or not. Thoughts on Xavi Simons? I mean, like, he can do quite well, but I think the Villarreal fixture is quite a difficult one. I think if you're picking a Spurs player long term, you know, for game week 1 to 4, then yes, he's probably going to be a pretty decent pick. But if you're on a matchday 1 free hit like myself and wildcarding in game week 2 or matchday 2, then I probably wouldn't. Best 2 Olympiacos defenders, please. No goalkeeper. It would be Red Sauce, and then if you want to risk it, it would be Rodney. Why are you saying to avoid Vinicius? Because of the predicted lineup here, which potentially has Vinicius missing out, and his form's been horrendous recently. Yeah, no more info on that. Who would be on your bench? It's just going to be the 3 players playing on the 18th of September. Why is Güler locked? For game week 1, he's locked for me because he's had a fantastic start to the season. And that's really it. I don't really think there's a better Real midfielder. What do you think of going Grimaldo for the upside? I spoke a wee bit on Grimaldo. He's had a good start to the season as far as I'm aware. He's just not, you know, see if it was a home fixture against Copenhagen, he probably would make the team. 2 goals and an assist in 3 games. Both 2 goals, both came against Frankfurt. You know, again, Grimaldo's always been fantastic in UCL Fantasy. So yes, a great pick still. I just think I prefer the other guys that I've got instead. Thoughts on Yildiz and Bremer? Bremer only played 1 game last UCL but had 14 ball recoveries. Yildiz is a great player. I think he's somebody I will consider after game week 1 because I think Juventus' fixtures are pretty decent. Bremer I don't know too much about. I think if I was picking a defender, Cambiasso would be the one I'd go for. Again, I haven't looked too much into Juventus, so I don't really know. It is a wild card match day too, yeah. Thoughts on the PSV keeper for this match? I would try and stick to... I mean, I don't know how long... Like, if you're just going to do match day 1, I'll try and stick to the clean sheet odds, which is going to be Sporting, Benfica, Olympiacos, you know, PSG and stuff, because they're cheap enough. Hey Bobby, last question. Have you considered Salah? He's on great form. Not really. He's like, I think with Liverpool, he's just not really getting the service. And I think for, you know, obviously I've got the money there, but for 10.5 million, he's just not really someone that I'm considering. Yeah, it's a tough one. You know, he could do well. He's obviously got the penalties as well. But I think I'm going to try and target the fixtures as much as possible for this week. And I feel like I trust Rafinha and Elise to do better more than Salah this week. Kane or Haaland? It's a very tough one, but I would choose Kane. Do we know who will be goalkeeper for Sporting? We do not, unfortunately. I think the best thing we've got is that Silva could potentially make it in time. I'll see if I can find the latest. Yeah, so this is what we got. Rui Silva and Diomande race to the Champions League. And that's really it. So I've heard that Silva has kind of been like training, so he could make it. But I've seen also other people say that he's not going to make it in time. So for me, it's just too risky. I'll just pick outfield players for Sporting instead. Bilbao fullbacks don't look good. They're usually on the bench. Arsenal wingers can have a field day today. Good news for anyone choosing. Who's playing in the wing for Arsenal? I'm trying to remember. Madueke and someone else. Martinelli maybe? Are you hoping that Kyrick gets scudded every game, or hoping that they get a few decent results to soften the blow of them putting us out? Yeah, no, honestly, ignoring the qualifiers, I genuinely think Kyrick are going to get thudded in every single match this campaign. Because they look awful. If I have the money, why not Courtois? Purely, you know, if you look at the clean sheet odds on the far right, there's just 5 better teams, and I've got both the goalkeepers from those better teams. So that's kind of where I'm at. How come so much budget left? I'm free hitting match day 1. A lot of the good players for match day 1 are just cheap. Thoughts on Gyökeres and Hodgson? Gyökeres could do well, but I think I said it earlier as well. I just think there's better options. Hodgson the same, another one that could do decent. You know, Real have a 40% chance of a clean sheet tonight. Is it tonight? Tomorrow? Tonight? It is tonight. I just think there is a few better picks, but they're still good choices. Hodgson's a good long-term pick as well. Why Pashalakis as goalkeeper? Isn't Salakis first choice? He is, but he's suspended for match day 1. Doubling up on Arsenal defence, good. I do like the double up on Arsenal defence. Gabriel, or probably Calafiori and Timber would be my 2 choices. If you want to go more long term, potentially Gabriel instead of Calafiori, or probably Gabriel instead of Timber. Yildiz captain match day 1. Only if they're playing Wednesday, I guess. No, I probably wouldn't captain. I mean, he could easily do well in that game, but you've got Benfica against Qarabağ, Real against Marseille. You know, it's probably the hardest fixture tonight is Juventus's fixture. So I probably wouldn't captain him. But an okay one to own. Richard Rios, I don't know who that is. Benfica. No goals, no assists, and 4 starts. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he excites me too much, to be honest. Still selected by a fair amount of people though, at 1%. You know, 1% is a decent amount of owners. Thoughts on Rodney for Olympiacos? So still no news on whether he's going to be fit or not, so I would avoid him for now. Thoughts on Taremi for Olympiacos? As far as I know, Taremi will be on the bench. El Cabe will be the main striker, and I do like him as a pick. Pavlidis or Suarez for this game week? I would probably pick Suarez. I think Suarez just is a little bit better, but they both could absolutely smash it tonight or this week. Put Grimaldo, mate, and thank me later. There's no like, again, Grimaldo is a consideration for me, but I am happy with my defence right now. I think if I was to take anyone out of this defence, it would be Dumfries. But I'm happy with Dumfries as well. He kind of offers the same that Grimaldo does. Best of luck, John. What do you think about Sudakov? Press says he will start. I mean, I have seen a few things potentially saying he'll start, but from what I know, it's not 100%, so I wouldn't be gambling on it. If he starts, he could probably do really well, though. Thoughts on Dest? I did have a quick look at him, and he looks like a pretty decent pick. Again, I think there is just better defensive options, though. You know, I think the clean sheet odds are too high for PSV. Going for Dal over Otamendi to chase the attacking upside. I like it. Although I do think Otamendi still kind of has that. Like, I wouldn't say he wasn't an attacking threat. Is Pedro Goncalves playing? He will start, as far as I know, yeah. Is Vinny starting? It's mixed on that. I think, if I'm being honest, I think he will start. But there is a few people saying that he might not. Tell me Luis Suarez, Schick or Pavlidis, only two. It would be Suarez and Pavlidis. Barcola or Guler? I would pick Barcola. Shivu's Inter is a bit different than Inzaghi's. I know, I have kind of seen that. And a lot of people don't seem to trust it as much. Any other 4 million goalkeeper that starts? I mean, you can try and, like, there obviously is the Napoli, both the Napoli guys, but it's too difficult to try and pick for them. Guler, Chiquinho, Calhanoglu, pick 2. I would pick Guler and Chiquinho. No Olympiacos defenders. I've got Paschalakis in goals to cover off the defence. What's a good goalkeeper pairing for 9.5 mil? Can't have Garcia in it. Probably Chevalier for PSG. I don't know who he rotates with well, but I realise we only get 3 minutes to the deadline as well. Better make sure I lock in my team quick. Is this definitely what I want? It is. Dates. All good. Yeah, that'll do me. Pick 2, Perisic, Chiquinho, Guler, Elise. Elise and Guler. Why not Olympiacos defender instead of Dumfries? More clean sheet odds, and you use my wildcard too. Just because there's no Olympiacos defender that I'm really sold on. If Rodney was there, then I probably would pick him over Dumfries. But brilliant video as always. Really useful information. Thank you, John. Appreciate it as always. Have a good one. Pavlidis or Schick? Definitely Pavlidis. I have a feeling of a Trent or Vinny masterclass. I hope not. Pepe from PSV or Suarez from Sporting. I have Quenda, Goncalves and Rafinha all for day. I would still pick Suarez, to be honest. I think there's a good chance that Sporting absolutely romp that match. Are you able to change captain between Arsenal and Madrid's game today? You're not. You can only do it between each day. So you can pick a Tuesday captain, Wednesday captain and Thursday captain. Thank you, Zayden. Good luck as well for match day 1. Guys, we're now 1 minute away from the deadline. Well, actually, so this is going to be my team for match day 1. I actually totally forgot to post that on Twitter, so I do apologise to anyone who was looking for a match day 1 Twitter team. If you haven't yet liked the stream, please make sure to do so before we go. Venceslav, thank you. I really hope I've said your name right. Best of luck. Joe, appreciate the membership once again. Good luck. Ishmael, good luck. Bobby, good luck. Fingers crossed. Need a good start. I'm absolutely desperate because if match day 1 kick-off start is good, then we're in for a very good league stage, hopefully. But that is it. I think that's our deadline. No more changes. Saksham, good luck. Wade, thank you very much. We're taking a long time to refresh this, which makes me think it's done. Sparta, good luck. I appreciate everyone coming in. It was a beautiful, beautiful stream. Hour and a half, nothing went wrong. An hour and 45, nothing went wrong. Had over 400 people at one point. Oh, which club league are you joining? I totally forgot. Oh, I really hope I can still join. I'm going to join the Leverkusen league. Feels bad with the 10 million in the league. Ah, I'm raging. I totally forgot to join that. I think I should still be able to. But I can't get in anymore. Don't know. Hopefully, it's if I can get in after this, then I will join the Leverkusen league. Fingers crossed. But yeah, thank you everyone. I want to try and do as many deadline streams as possible this season. Obviously, being on like a Tuesday most of the time, it is quite difficult. But that is the idea, that is the plan. Videos wise, I'll try to have a wild card and a limitless video out for all match days. So if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure to do so. 67% of people went for Mbappe. Napstars went for Dortmund. That's got to be like the biggest club league, surely. Most people in that. Good luck. Let's bring glory home. Plutorian. I'm gonna say. Good luck as well. I hope Karabakh don't surprise us, Parvas. Thank you, Darson. Appreciate that. I still can't get in. Are there price changes? There is price changes, but they are at the start of each match day. So anyone that did well, like your highest point scorers, are the ones that go up in price. It's nothing to do with, like transfers in or anything. It's literally just the players who get the most points that that match day will go up in price. The match day after. Thank you, Roger. I appreciate that. I don't know why this still won't load. I want to get in and join my leagues. Who's the best Carabag midfielder? Do you know, I'll be surprised if anyone in the chat can even name a Carabag midfielder. Right, well this doesn't seem to want to work anymore. So I'm going to end it there. We're 5 minutes past the deadline. There's still 100 of you in here. And we're over just under 2 hours into the stream. So thank you all so much for coming in. Today it's been a beautiful stream. Before you do leave, again, make sure to like the stream and subscribe if you haven't done already, because we're going to do lots more throughout the course of the campaign. Miguel, good luck. So yeah, I'm going to head. Thank you all, appreciate it, good luck, and hopefully I'm going to be on Twitter all night, and obviously I'll have the Player of the Match awards later as well. So yeah, I'll obviously keep up on that. So yeah, see you all in a bit.